Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students of grade 8. Hope you people are doing good. I am here with another lesson of English and this is lesson number 31 of virtual teaching phase 2. What we have to do today? Students, today's lesson is in fact the continuation of the previous lesson in which you people have done the in-depth reading of the factual recount to the vertical end of the earth. So today we are going to do the textual comprehension of the same lesson to the vertical end of the earth. What do we mean by textual comprehension? What is textual comprehension, by the way? Yes, textual comprehension is in fact understanding the text. The text that you people have read, whether you people have comprehended it or not, or the things, the details, the descriptions, and the evidences that have been described in the text, whether all of you have got hold on all of them or not. Before we start answering the questions given at the end of the lesson, let's have a glance at the things that you people have to be particular about and the things that you people have to avoid while answering the questions. First of all, read the questions carefully, focusing on the keywords. Yes, you people have to focus on the keywords that will enable you to find out what is the basic demand of the question. So, you people have to read the question carefully. Secondly, be candid and avoid adding irrelevant details. Now, students, you people have to be straightforward and you don't have to beat about the bush, rather, you have to be to the point. Don't copy the answers from the text, rather, try to decode them in your own words. Yes, you don't have to copy your answers from the text. You have to rewrite it in your own words, using your own words or using the synonyms of the words that are present in the text. Don't change the tense used in the question. Yeah, this is very much important. Look at the question, find out the tense, whether it is in present or past, and your answer must be in the same tense that has been used in the question. Last but not least, add the question statement either in the beginning or at the end. Yes, students, this is very much important and this is something that you always forget. Your answer must carry the question statement. Now you have to find out whether it is suitable in the beginning or at the end. But keep this thing in your mind that the question statement must be the part of your answer. Let's have a look some WH questions. When they are used in the question, what do they demand? What demands object, idea or action? When there is who in the question, it needs to be answered by giving the information about the person. Why demands the reason. How has to be answered by giving the steps or process. And where demands place. Let's start with the warm-up activity. What we have to do first? First, we have to recall the text. The text that we have read earlier, the factual recount to the vertical end of the earth. What was it all about? Who were involved in that? What were the events that were mentioned in the factual recount? So you people have to just refresh your memory related to the factual recount to the vertical end of the earth. Then you have to read the questions that are given at the end of the text. Then afterwards you have to go through the text once again, keeping in mind all the questions given at the end of the text. This will really help you, and in this way you will be able to answer all the question impeccably. Let's move on and start discussing the answers of question number 1 to question number 8. Now students, these questions demand the direct answers, and the details that these questions demand, they vividly and explicitly mentioned or given in the text. So you need not to infer or find out the underlying meanings, rather you just have to put the direct details that are mentioned or that are demanded in the question in your answer. Secondly, students, the answers are given here in the form of chunks. They are not the full-fledged answers. You people have to write the answers on your own, and you people have to follow the proper sentence structure as well as add the question statement. Now question number 1 is about the area at the summit of Cho Oyu. It is about 4 football fields. Question number 2 is, at what point can you see Mount Everest from Cho Oyu? It is from the summit. you will see question number 3 as well. It is also very direct and short, that how did the A team express their excitement of reaching Cho Oyu summit? By getting into impromptu or spontaneous snowball fight. Question number 4, question number 5, they are also short and direct. Question number 6 is about the description of the storm that B team experienced. So it is unrelenting storm, hurricane force with winds in excess of 150 kilometers per hour, howling winds sounded like an express train passing by a few feet away. So you people have to write them in the form of proper sentences, and you people have to follow the tense and the sentence structure as well. Now students, question number 7 and question number 8, they are also very short and direct, and you people will be easily write the answers of these questions. Question number 9 to question number 13, they are related to the lined meaning of the text. Means you won't be able to get the direct answers, rather you people have to find out the underlined meanings. Now if you just look at question number 9, it demands from the first paragraph, how do you know that the A team had to use oxygen to climb the final section to the summit? Now it's not mentioned directly or clearly, but when you read this line, stood there taking photographs with their oxygen masks off, then you come to know, okay, they used or they needed to use the oxygen to climb the final section to the summit. Question number 10 is about Sweet Chew's feelings when he saw Mount Everest. Question number 11, because it's written that why could Chiman's last farewell not be heard on the videotape? Because of the noise of the wind, which sounded like. This is what you people have to add yourself, as you people have comprehended the text well. So it's not that much difficult. Question number 12, yes, question number 12, you people have to write the whole process, that how a person gets frostbitten, what is the reason behind this. For example, it's written, it's demanded, why did Chi Man's feet get frostbitten even though he was wearing suitable footwear for the climb? Now you people have to answer why, you people have to give the reason. So you have to give the reason, due to the rarefied air, the body supplies the oxygenated blood to the vital organs, and it shuts down the process of circulation to the extremities. So this is the reason. Then afterwards you people have to develop the answer yourself after adding the details that are necessary. Question number 13 is related to the meaning of the difficult words. First part A, lack of the basic things that people need for living, that is privations, to become less intense or swear a bait, not intended, seriously done or said as a joke, that is tongue in cheek, this is idiomatic expression. And sad and disappointed talk, it's the meaning of disconsolate conversation. And discuss the inferential questions. In inferential questions, you people have to infer from the text after looking at the different evidences and proofs given in the text. Now look at the question number 14. In question number 14, it's asked, why do you think the climbers had to work in small groups rather than one large group? So to me, whatever I have inferred, or in my opinion, if any calamity occurred, all of them would not be affected. Question number 14, why did the question number 15, why did the Singapore team need to practice on other mountains before they attempt to climb Mount Everest? Because they wanted to get the first hand experience of the weather and hardships they might face while climbing or scaling Mount Everest. So these are the things which I have inferred, or in my opinion I feel like the answers of these two questions can be like these. So if you people have any other option, you can, but you people have to be very careful about the things or the evidences that are already mentioned in the text. So your answer must match the evidences or proofs which are mentioned in the text. So students, that's all from my side. I hope everything is clear to you. You people have understood how to attempt the comprehension questions, and if there is any confusion or ambiguity, you people have to discuss it with your associate teacher and get it cleared. Last but not least, students, take care of yourself and your family. Keep offering prayers 5 times a day and be truthful and honest in your dealings. Allah Hafiz.